Nobody care, so I talk less. I still there. Tibari bear. One man roadie, one small prayer, yeah. I did bar man, I no fear, yeah. I don't lose and I don't let, still yeah. They stand for here, I swear. Cause I don't ask God question, you know the answer. I don't get mouth, now I get the power. Whatever things that do the bad, I'm way the harder, they bum man, do the saga. If they know what in I carry inside them, no go judge me at all. I know loud, oh, I know rush, oh. Why you want me to fall? Okay, everything go day alright.
We found Mozambique's hidden gem, Pemba. When people think about beach destinations in Africa, places like Zanzibar, Mauritius and Seychelles usually come to mind. But after visiting Mozambique, I think we found a hidden gem, a place that still feels untouched. A place where you can walk along empty beaches, watch whales from the shore and experience a side of Africa that most tourists never see. Welcome to Pemba, Mozambique. For this trip we stayed at Mequfi Beach Resort, a 5-star beachfront resort located just outside of Pemba. The resort sits on a stunning stretch of coastline and has won multiple World Travel Awards. It's easy to see why when you arrive, the beach seems to go on forever. The water is crystal clear and there are very few people around. One of the most amazing things about Pemba is how untouched it still feels. There are no crowds, no rows of high-rise hotels, just miles of pristine coastline and beautiful natural scenery. So where is everyone? Why is this place empty? Why is no one coming here? Well, there's a few reasons. Firstly, getting here isn't always easy. Many international travellers cannot fly directly to Pemba and often need to connect through cities like Maputo, Nairobi, Johannesburg or Dar es Salaam. It's definitely not one of those destinations where you simply jump on a direct flight and arrive in a few hours. The second reason is perception. Over the past few years, Mozambique experienced security problems and attacks, particularly further north of Pemba. Although the situation has improved in many areas, travel advisories from countries such as UK still make some travellers think twice about visiting. It's something everyone should research before planning a trip. Then there's the infrastructure. Pemba is not a polished destination yet. Roads can be rough, internet can be unreliable, and things don't always work the way they do in Europe and North Africa. For example, when we arrived at the airport, there was no public Wi-Fi available. If you're travelling from certain countries, officials may ask for proof of vaccination, so make sure you check the latest requirements before flying. We also had a lot of grief from the border officials over our safari camera equipment. They were adamant we had a drone. Nothing major, but definitely one of those travel experiences that test your patience. Despite those challenges, what stood out most was the people. The population is mainly Christian, with a significant Muslim community as well, especially in the north. The country is known for people of different faiths living side by side. According to the 2017 census, around 56% of the population is Christian and about 19% Muslim. And then there are the whales. During whale season, humpback whales migrate along this coast. If you're lucky, you can actually see them breaching from the beach itself. Not from a boat, not through binoculars, just standing on the sand. It's one of those experiences that reminds you how wild and natural this part of the world is. The weather is warm for most of the year, the Indian Ocean is perfect for swimming, and the landscape feels like something from a travel brochure.
Welcome to Mozambique. My name is Anastas George.
The guys are cleaning up at the moment because it's the end of the breakfast. And you got the omelette station here. Pancakes. Toast. I'm going to do soup here in the evenings. And in here, it's indoor dining. Really interesting lights. Got some yogurts, dried nuts, cereal. That's me. Got lemon water, that's what I need. And just a selection of fruits. And here's the best man, the one who runs things.
Yeah.
Guess what's for lunch? Check it out. This is what dinner looks like in Mozambique, and this is part of the buffet.
Karibu, welcome to Hotel Mequfi Beach Resorts.
Looks like it's just us here in Mequfi Beach Resort. So to get here it's quite difficult. You'll have to get an aeroplane to Johannesburg, and then from Johannesburg you get a smaller plane with Airlink into a small airport called Pemba, and then it's another hour drive from Pemba airport. And not the best of roads, but gives you a good idea of what Mozambique roads are like. So as you can see, it's a really nice swimming pool. Going to be trying that out in a little bit. So this is what Mozambique resorts look like. Be interesting to see how busy this place gets. They said that more people are going to come over the weekend. We're coming up to the water sports area. A couple of local kids on the beach playing. A few other guests and a lot more local kids. We're in Mozambique for 11 days. 11 days of this empty beach. You can see the whales breach. We saw them yesterday. And then we're going to go to local towns and villages. So here's the water sports. You can do paddle boarding, kayaking, snorkeling, there's a wind bike. So this is the water sports area. It's a bit of a walk, about 13 minutes walk. So let's go and check out what we've got on offer. So paddle boarding, kayaking. There's our champion there, champion swimmer. Salama,
Salama Muhavu.
Kihavo.
Okay.
Okay. You can go snorkeling, life vest, chill out. There's some amazing mangroves. You can spend a couple of hours all the way over there paddling, checking out the kingfishers, small fish, and if you're lucky, the hippos. We're off to the mangroves. Can do a bit more kayaking. What feels like middle of nowhere. Different continent, different view, different lifestyle. Gliding quietly through the mangroves of Pemba, Mozambique, felt like entering a completely different world. The calm water reflected the tangled roots and lush green canopy, creating a landscape that was both peaceful and mysterious. Many people come here hoping to spot wildlife. These mangroves are home to a variety of birds, fish and other animals, but in this particular trip we didn't see any, and honestly that didn't take away from the experience. The beauty of this place was in the atmosphere itself, the stillness, the winding waterways, and the feeling of being surrounded by nature in one of its most unique forms. Canoeing through these ancient mangroves gave us a rare chance to slow down, disconnect, and appreciate a side of Mozambique that feels untouched and timeless. It was a simple adventure, but one we won't forget anytime soon. It was my second time ever paddle boarding, and this time I actually stayed on the board. Cruising through the calm mangrove channels was incredibly relaxing, at least until gravity had other plans. Imagine riding a bike powered entirely by wind, with a sail instead of pedals doing most of the work. There's no brakes, no steering wheel, just a cable attached to the controls. Have you ever seen anything like this before? One of the highlights we were hoping for during our stay in Pemba was seeing the whales breach. Although the adventure started a little earlier than expected when we had trouble finding the captain at a small beachside cabin. Eventually we got underway and headed out in the open ocean in search of the whales. Before long we spotted them and spent time carefully tracking their movements from the boat. Unfortunately, we didn't get to witness the dramatic breaches we had been hoping for. Our guess is that the noise of the boat may have made them more cautious, although we switched off the engine whenever we got close to them. Even without the spectacular jumps, it was still an incredible experience seeing these magnificent creatures in their natural habitat. Just knowing that they were beneath the surface made the trip worthwhile and gave us a memorable glimpse into the wildlife of Mozambique's coastline. Just a 10-minute walk from our resort was a local village, and it turned out to be one of the highlights of our trip. The land around the village was dry and sandy, but people still grew their own food. We saw small vegetable gardens with crops growing in the middle of this tough landscape. It was amazing to see how people made the most of what they had. As we walked through the village, we saw the local homes. They were simple and built using local materials. Life here was very different from what we were used to, but there was a strong sense of community. The best part of the visit was meeting the children. They were some of the happiest children we have ever seen. From the moment we arrived, they were waving, smiling and saying hello. They followed us through the village, laughing and playing together. What stood out most was how they made their own fun. Many of the toys were homemade from simple materials. Nothing fancy, but that didn't matter. The children were full of energy and joy, and one we will always remember. We also visited a local school and got a glimpse of daily life for the students. Everyone was friendly and welcoming, making us feel right at home. This short walk from the resort gave us a chance to see the real Pemba. It was a wonderful experience and one. Salama! Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
She's not happy.
No, she's not because she's fast. She comes fast.
Look at them playing.
Salama. Salama. Salam. Salam. There's so many kids. Salama. The compound is beautiful for local people.
You want? Okay, so the next second is good. Okay, good. This is a very big
Salama.
Let's go to Hollywood. So do they have She's very naughty.
Before we left, we stopped at a village mosque. It wasn't large or fancy like some of the beautiful city mosques. It was simple, humble, and an important part of the community.
Assalamu alaikum.
So this is reception at Mequfi Beach Resort. As it's really quiet at the moment, there's hardly anyone here, but you can see it's really nicely put together, and then obviously you've seen the amazing gardens. So what's the facilities like here? There's lots of rooms, pretty much empty at this moment. There's 3 other couples. We've got 1 massive swimming pool, and then as you can see, I'm going to lift by buggy all the way to the beach. So at the beach you've got the water sports, and then you've got a bar for all your drinks. Salama. Mohavo. Yes. So come here, get yourself some drinks, take a paddleboard out and head out into that. Good luck. If you fancy a week to yourselves with not many tourists around, this is the place to be. If you're into lobster, you're going to love this place. Steak and lobsters pretty much on the menu all the time. There's curries. Our chef is Indian, so there's a lot of specialist curries. He's been all over the world. You're in good hands. You're in tune to MOZAMBIQUE Photography. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share.